Thank you, Chairman. Through you, just a few questions. The amendment says now that only one piece of identification would be required for a standard driver's license, correct?
I don't think that's exactly accurate. I think that the amendment says that the same point system, the same point threshold would be required for both standard and a real ID license.
Yeah, Jay, so it's
So
the Motor Vehicle Commission has to adopt a program of thorough identification, as she just said.
I understood that the applicant for a standard license would only provide one document providing proof of New Jersey residency. Is that true?
So I think you're speaking of, so maybe I misunderstood. I think that there's a requirement to prove residency. There's also a requirement to prove identity, and so those are separate requirements, as far as I understand.
Okay. And so the standard license, that would be the not real ID tier, that requires one document establishing residency, and how many other documents establishing identity?
So I think that it would be, so I think that the point system would be the same as it is now. There's a 6-point system to prove ID. So depending on the number of point value for each document, that would determine the number of documents. There's not like a set number of documents.
And would citizens then be permitted to simply apply for the standard license?
Yes, I think it's an important point that the standard license is available to citizens. It's available to anyone who, and I should mention, from a privacy perspective, the standard license protects people's privacy better. So ACLU members, others who care about privacy, will likely prefer to apply for the standard license. And the point here is that everyone should have a choice, right? It should be transparent. And I think it is here that you can either apply for a standard license, which basically gives you the ability to drive or identify yourself, but doesn't allow you to get on a plane because it's not part of the federal Real ID system, or you could apply for a Real ID license or ID, which does give you that ability to get on a plane, but comes with more privacy violations that you sort of agree to in order to be able to be part of that system.
Okay. And then again, through you, Mr. Chairman, the standard license then, will everyone who applies for the standard license receive a voter application?
No, so already our state has implemented automatic voter registration, and actually, interestingly, our state already registers for licenses some people who are eligible to vote and some who are not, because we have non-citizens currently who are eligible for licenses. And so we have a system whereby people are asked certain questions to make sure they're eligible to vote before they're put into the AVR, automatic voter registration system. And so that would continue.
And those questions are asked at MVC when the driver is applying for the license?
Yes, exactly, correct.
Okay. And those questions would continue to be asked of the standard license?
Yes, my understanding is that the same system would apply because they're already, as I said, it's already an important function of the Motor Vehicles Commission to ensure that people, who are registering to vote are doing so because they're eligible, and so they would continue the same system.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, on the issue of insurance, because I think the witness did reference insurance, how will people applying for the standard license, non-citizens especially who haven't had licenses before, how will insurance companies be able to rate those drivers?
Yes, so they will be treated as new drivers, just like when someone turns 18 or 17 and they get a license and get insurance. They will be treated as new drivers. And when you get an insurance, it's not a requirement to get to have your social security number. They just care about your driver's licenses. Even now, there's people who, people in general hate giving their social security number if they don't have to, right? So all they need is a license number to get insurance.
Okay,
That's all they will need, yeah.
I'm sorry, thank you, Chairman. And so the new applicant, even if an individual's 40 years old and she hasn't had a license, she'll be treated as a 17-year-old?
No. I'm saying that he will be treated as a new driver, right? They will be treated as new drivers.
Oh, a new driver, but
New
they,
driver.
but so the, help me.
For insurance purposes.
Right, so the insurance company look at him and say, new driver, but 40 years old.
yep.
And female, probably a safer bet than a new driver who's 17-year-old
Yep.
and a male.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Has there been any analysis on how the new driver designations will affect insurance premiums and the pools in New Jersey?
So as you might know, there's many variables that influence insurance rates, right? New Jersey has one of the, there's expensive cars in New Jersey, and it's one of the reasons why it's one of the highest in the country in terms of premiums. It's $400 more than the national average. So in other states, which is 14 other states that have done this, it has helped stabilize insurance. It's not a reason why they're increasing. Like if you have more people, it's simple. If you have more people on the road who are licensed, you get into an accident with them, you're not going to cover the cost, because if you're insured, you cover that cost if somebody else is not licensed and insured, right? So that expense is reduced. There was a study by Stanford University that analyzed the California legislation, right? And they were able to note that because of the similar policy like the one we're discussing today, there has been a decrease in hit and run accidents, right? Because before, people who were not, who didn't have a license were afraid of being questioned. Now they're being responsible. Yeah, so that number has reduced. So if people are being insured, they don't have to pay, the insurance would be responsible for that payment, right? Instead of the insured driver, instead of the insured driver.
Chairman, I compliment the witnesses and thank them for their contribution to the record.